Hi, this is DigitalFemme and welcome to my channel. So in this video, I want to talk about death and dying. I don't mean for the topic to sound morbid, but recently, a few days ago, one of my contacts online, I have never met her, but I have often engaged with her through Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, like literally over maybe the course of 8 years. Not so much in the past year or so because I haven't been online a lot, but I saw a post on Facebook that she had recently passed. And, she's not the only person that has been sort of like my online contact for maybe over 5, 6, 8 years, even 10 years that have passed away. Actually, there have been four people that I have had a direct connection with, and we have engaged in conversation through direct messaging or Facebook Messenger and whatnot, and even email. And I wanted to talk about it because it had been on my mind, something like the death of an online contact that you maybe have never met, but you definitely had communication with and a connection with on some level. Like, I don't know not what happens to that, but anyway, if you want to hear what I want to continue talking about, then continue watching. Hi, I'm glad you stayed. So I'm never sure about what topic I'm going to talk about when I decide to record a video. And this one I really wanted to, share. So close, I wouldn't call her close, but I would call her close because of the type of messages and conversations we've had through various forms of social media, and not publicly. Obviously, it would be direct messaging or private messaging. Over the past, 4 or 5 years, 4 people that I have been in contact with for, over 8 years. 8 years and some have passed away or no longer with us. And I have never met them, and yet their passing has affected me in a way that I just think about more and more, regardless of whether, we meet these people on social media or we meet them and then we connect with them on social media. Ever since social media or the internet or ways of connecting with people online have come about, and it's pretty much almost 20 years now, perhaps, or over 20 years, it's almost like, for me anyway, the lines are blurring, meaning I can meet someone physically, face to face, and meet them for coffee, get invited to their house and have dinner, have a great time with them and have really great conversations with them over a number of years. And I can still have similar conversations with people who I've never met online, through messaging, through different messaging platforms or email. And to me, it's the same, whether I've met them personally or whether I've never met them but had some form of online relationship with them. It's really still the same. It's still the same. And even though I've never met those people that have passed away, and I cannot imagine what it's like for their families and loved ones, because they're no longer there. Their specific loved one is no longer there. I can't imagine what it's like for them, but I know what it's like for me. And I don't know, it's funny, but I do miss their online presence. Whether it's them posting the sunrise every morning from the view of their condo in Chicago, or whether it's them sharing their travels or even their coffee wherever they are, or whether it's just them showing support for whatever you do. When you tweet something, when you share something, they're always there to like or share or comment, or just to let you know that they're supporting you somehow online. And some people might say, oh, what is a like? Because now we just go like this and scroll through our mobile phones or our iPads, and just like, it's so easy to double tap on an Instagram to like, or just like. It's almost like you see a picture you like, you don't even know what you're liking. Sometimes people they just like because it's almost like a robotic action, an automatic action, without really reading the post. That's why in the past 3 years or 4 years, you've seen people on Facebook particularly posting long text posts without any images, saying, if you really read this, blah blah blah, comment on how we first met. You've gotten some of them. Oh no, where am I saying now? Yeah, I miss the people that have passed in the past like 4 or 5 years. I do miss their online presence. And I have never ever met these people personally, but it's almost like the way they've engaged online and the type of back and forth communication I've had with them on the various different platforms and throughout the years, you do get to know someone. So to me, it doesn't matter whether I've met you or not. If we've had back and forth communication online and we've shared things about our lives, then you are truly in my circle of just, I guess, of being, of existing. These people that are no longer with us, they have shared a lot of their business and personal. They've shared some of their frustrations, maybe some of their pains from loved ones or friends passing, and they've shared their humanness, and it's through that I've connected with them. So I don't know, like, I think 10 years ago I wondered, or was it 10 or 12 years ago, a thought came to my mind. So we create content online. We engage with people. We have followers. We follow back. We have different types of relationships, like business or social media relationships. And then, it's just recently, I guess in the past 7 years, that people have started to become really transparent and open with what they're actually going through. So there have been a handful of people online that I've never met that have actually shared their illness journey. And they've shared not feeling well. They've shared the fact that they've had to visit a doctor. They've shared their diagnoses. They've shared their prognoses. They've shared their, journey of treatment. And a lot of this is like whether they broke a hip, broke a leg, had minor surgery, major surgery, and especially cancer. There's a lot of people that we know that like share that they have been diagnosed with cancer, and then, they're sharing their treatment, and some of them, they don't make it, and some of them have. And we all get to see that. Some people share that they have just ended a relationship. Some people, you know what I mean. They get to, it's no longer sharing, like business or professional. People really, really open up and talk about their lives, and these people that have passed, that are no longer with us, in some way that's what they have done through those years of connecting and being online. And that's how, I guess, you get to really know somebody. And then when somebody posts publicly what's going on, of course I will say something, but privately. And it's in those conversations, in the private messenger, in the direct messages, that I get to share, and people get to share their support and their sentiment. And sometimes there are long conversations back and forth. There is one friend in particular who I have never met, and yet I have known him for like almost 12 years, maybe even 15 years now online, since I think 2003. And his first name is Alex. And I've met him, oh my gosh, like way back, way back in Friendster, in MySpace, in this, I forgot what that, in Places.com. And there was this Orkut. There was a social platform called Orkut, ORQUT. And then we met up on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and, all that stuff. But he has been one of the first, I guess, social media connections. And he still continues today to be. And we have, from afar, seen each other go through different relationships. And there has been a time in our lives where we almost kind of like went through similar relationships. And I was there. There was a number of people that was there to support him. And in turn, he reached out to support me as well when I needed it. I've never met Alex, and yet I feel really close and connected with him. I mean, a few years ago, his father had passed away, and I got to see him grieve online, at least. So what happens when we connect with these people we've never met, and then they're no longer there, and yet their Facebook accounts are there, their Twitter account. It's almost like Facebook is the thing to do when somebody passes away. A family member finds or always somehow manages to take control of that person's Facebook account and then posts, that this person has passed. And then Facebook becomes almost like an online memorial or an online, guest book, or a place where people can come and share their condolences and stories. So I guess then it brings back to what happens to me. Like, I change my passwords on my social media account like regularly, every 6 months. I like to do it every 3 months, but I've slacked off. So sometimes it's every 6 months now. I change my passwords for all my social media accounts and my account in general online. And I'm healthy. I'm doing really well. But one day, when I'm no longer going to post or tweet or share or comment, and I've done that. There has been a couple of years ago, I have gone through something that I just kind of like was not online, except maybe one or two things, but literally for someone who calls herself DigitalFemme and social media manager and digital strategist, there was a time when I really was not online, maybe 2 years. I just was not online consistently, especially on Twitter. Maybe lurking around on Facebook, but, or just there to support people when I read their posts on Facebook, but really, really not on Twitter. When somebody stops posting on their social media accounts, will somebody wonder? If I stop posting online, will somebody wonder what has happened to me? Because I surely do with people when I have not seen them post for a while. Especially those who, they don't say anything like, oh, sometimes people say, oh, I'm going to be, I'm going to be offline for like a year or 6 months or 2 months. Like, I need to take a break. I need to disconnect. Like, they'll always say that. Or they'll say, oh, I'm moving, or, that they're sick. So that if they're sick and they're going through treatments or some type of illness, then that perhaps the reason why they're not posting is because they're just going through something. But I don't know. So now I'm rethinking, do I need to reach out? Should I share? Should I choose one person that I can trust to handle, to have access to my social media accounts, so that in case something happens to me, then they'll I don't know, like, it's almost like a will. It's almost like a social media or a digital will. Who gets your accounts, or who gets, not who gets your accounts, but I actually have a Twitter handle that a number of people have approached me and asked me if I would give it to them because because they want that name, because it's part of their brand, it's their brand. And I just have not replied, and one person I just said no, I'm still going to, thank you for reaching out to me, but I still want to keep it, because I still will want to continue actively, like soon actively posting on like a specific Twitter handle. But there are accounts that maybe like somebody wants, like maybe somebody wants the /DigitalFemme Twitter tag. I don't know, like if I pass away, like who knows. I don't really mean for this to sound morbid or depressing. This is not what this video is. This is just me sharing my thoughts because of something that happened recently. And I still come across the Facebook feeds of people that have passed. Why? Because, well, obviously I'm still following them. And once in a while, a friend or a family member will post on that person's page or timeline. And then I'll get an alert or a notification saying that, oh, so-and-so posted on so-and-so's, Facebook account. And I'll like, oh, wow, like they're gone. And then obviously it brings back memories of them. And so I'll go onto their Facebook and I'll look at their photos. And yeah, I don't know. Like, have you guys thought of that? How do you feel about that? Do you have a digital plan for when, something happens to you? I know that's a thing. I know that I think 10 years ago, there was actually an app or a startup that handled, I don't know what it was. It's like you create an account, and if you pass away or something, I can't even remember what they are actually. I know they were on Twitter, and then they were on Facebook. It's been so long. Maybe they no longer exist. Maybe after this video, I will do a Google search of startups or online platforms or apps that speak to that, and let's see. But yeah, I can't believe, and in a way, it saddens me a little, because these people that I've connected with, we've always had the intent to meet. Because, there's always going to be, oh, one day we'll meet. Oh, we'll all, are you going to go to South by Southwest this year? Or, oh, we're all meeting Barcelona for Mobile World Congress. Or are you going to go to CES this year? It's all these things. It's the people that I'm talking about are people that are online influencers in their own right. And they're involved in tech, and they're early adopters, obviously. So that's how we kind of like all met. We are all early adopters, and we met like every time a new platform or new, I don't know, software or community, rises up online, and that's how here you are, and that's how we met. So like, I don't know, guys. Anyway, woo. So this is my 90-second video in the 1,000 day challenge. And if you don't know what that is choosing to do one thing for roughly 1 hour a day for 1,000 days straight. So you got it. I have chosen to do one video a day for 1,000 days, and on this YouTube channel, just to jumpstart it. Yeah, so anyway, sorry if I didn't mean for this video to be a bummer or be morbid or sad or depressing. It's not what it maybe. It is what it is. It's my channel. This is the video topic I chose because it was something that was on the back of my head and here in my heart. And I just wanted to just say, So if this video resonated with you, I don't know if you will like this video because maybe it's like morbid and stuff, but consider liking it if it did resonate with you. And I'd love to hear in the comments below your thoughts on what I shared. Like, have you ever thought about that? And how do you feel? How have you felt when you have lost, or when you knew someone had passed away who you had a connection online, and you've never met them, or you have, but like in this case, you've never met them, and yet you did feel close to them based on your years of back and forth communication, and then they're no longer there. It's like, I don't know, it's like, just because I've never met these people, and now that they're no longer here, and then the years go by, I don't want to forget them. I mean, just because I'm not their son or their mother or their sister, or I'm not part of their family or their close network of friends, I still don't want to forget them, and I don't forget them. But it's just so, I guess it's harder. It's not harder, but I guess it's just strange when you have a relationship, and by relationship I'm talking about like just a social relationship, not romantic or anything. But I just find it strange when you have an online social relationship with someone over throughout a number of years that you've never met, and then they're no longer there, and yet you still feel their absence. But it's almost like you feel their absence, but it's a strange kind of absence because, well, it's an absence online, but then it goes deeper. Like there's an absence of their presence online, obviously. But then for me, I feel it more that they're more than just an online presence. They're more than just their profile photo or their posts or their images they share or the text that I see back and forth behind the scenes in these messaging platforms. They're people, they're human. They were loved and they've loved, and I don't know, like, it's just weird. I don't even know if I'm making sense anymore. Anyway, if you stayed here and you've watched till the end of this video, thank you so much. I do have other videos that are totally a lot funnier and maybe more lighthearted. Maybe you'd like to go through my list of videos to see, and maybe you want to consider subscribing to this channel. Anyway, wherever you are, hope you have a great day and a great evening, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.